What if I told you that the room changes when you walk in, not because of what you say or do, but because of something invisible that everyone can feel, something that makes strangers turn their heads without knowing why? Makes children come closer to you in crowded places, makes animals stop and look at you in a different way. What if I told you that you've been ignoring these moments your whole life, thinking they were just accidents, but they're not. They never were. The journey begins. You see, there's something science can't fully explain yet, but every old culture understood it naturally. The Greeks called it charisma, which literally means gift from the gods. The Hindus speak of tejas, the inner glow that cannot be hidden. The mystics call it your aura. But whatever name we give it, we're talking about the same thing. That invisible field of energy that surrounds you, reaches out beyond your physical body, and touches everything and everyone around you. And here's what nobody tells you. Not all auras are the same. Most people walk through life with their energy scattered, dim, unaware. Their aura flickers like a candle in the wind. But then there are others. Maybe you're one of them. People whose energy field is so powerful, so focused that it actually bends reality around them. How do you know if you're one of these people? It all begins with something you probably noticed as a child, but learned to ignore. The first recognition, the space between worlds. Have you ever walked into a room full of people and felt like you were somehow separate? Not better or worse, just completely different. Like everyone else was playing one game, and you were playing another one entirely. You smiled. You laughed at the right moments. You said the right things. But deep inside there was this knowing, this quiet awareness that you were watching life from a different level. This isn't social anxiety. This isn't being shy. This is the first sign of a powerful aura, the ability to exist at the same time, in multiple levels of awareness. You see, most people are completely focused on the physical world. Their mind is locked into what's right in front of them, what to eat, what to wear, what others think of them. But those with powerful auras, you're living in the space between worlds. One foot in the physical world, one foot in something deeper. You're picking up on energies others don't even know exist. Think about it. How many times have you known something was going to happen before it did? Not in some big fortune teller way, just small things. The phone rings and you already know who it is. You think of someone and they text you minutes later. You walk into a room and right away know someone's lying, even though everyone else seems fooled. This isn't an accident. This is your aura picking up on the invisible energy fields that connect all living things. While others are listening to words, you're reading the silence between them. While others see surfaces, you're seeing depths. But this gift comes with a price, doesn't it? The weight of seeing. Because when your aura is this sensitive, this powerful, you don't just feel your own emotions. You feel everything. Every pain in the room becomes a whisper in your chest. Every joy becomes a flutter in your stomach. You walk through a crowd and come home tired, not from walking, but from processing 1,000 different energy signals. And this brings us to something even deeper. Something that might explain why you've always felt so different. The second recognition, the catalyst effect. Here's where things get interesting. And if what I'm about to say feels true to you, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments, because this is something I've noticed happens to almost everyone with a truly powerful aura. But we rarely talk about it. People change around you, not because you're trying to change them. In fact, you might not be doing anything at all. But somehow your simple presence acts as a catalyst. Old friends suddenly start questioning their life choices after a coffee with you. Strangers in elevators tell you their deepest secrets. People you've just met say things like, "I don't know why I'm telling you this," or, "I've never told anyone this before." It's as if your aura creates a safe space where people feel comfortable being their true selves. But here's the thing. It's not always comfortable for them. Because your energy field is so strong, it naturally pushes against anything that's fake, anything that's not honest with truth. And sometimes people aren't ready for that level of honesty. This is why you might notice a pattern in your relationships. People either love you deeply or feel strangely uncomfortable around you. There's rarely a middle ground. Your aura doesn't allow for shallow connections. It demands depth, truth, transformation. Think about your past relationships. How many people have told you that meeting you changed their life? How many have said you appeared at exactly the right moment? But also, how many have pulled away because your intensity, not emotional intensity, but energetic intensity, was too much for them to handle? This isn't something to feel bad about. This is the nature of a powerful aura. You're not meant to be lukewarm. You're not meant to be easily digestible. You're meant to be a force of transformation, whether people are ready for it or not. The third recognition, the synchronicity web. But the influence of your aura goes far beyond just people. And this is where we enter territory that might sound impossible to some. But if you have a powerful aura, you've experienced this your whole life. Reality seems to bend around you. I'm not talking about magic or wishful thinking. I'm talking about something much more subtle, and yet much more powerful. The universe seems to work together to put you exactly where you need to be. Exactly when you need to be there. You miss your usual bus, and on the next one you meet someone who changes your life. You randomly pick up a book in a store, and it has the exact answer you've been searching for. You have a sudden feeling to take a different route home, and you avoid an accident. These aren't miracles. This is your aura interacting with the quantum field of possibility. When your energy is powerful enough, it creates ripples in the fabric of reality itself. Scientists are just beginning to understand this through quantum physics, how consciousness affects matter, how watching something changes outcomes. But you've been living this truth your entire life. The question is, have you been dismissing it as coincidence? Or have you started to see the pattern? If this is making you think about all those strange coincidences in your life, take a moment to subscribe because we're going deeper into these mysteries. And I want you to be part of this journey of understanding who you really are. The fourth recognition, the energy vampire phenomenon. Now here's something that might be hard to hear, but it's important to understand if you have a powerful aura. You're a target not in a dangerous way, but in an energetic way. You see, just as moths are pulled to flame, people with empty energy are unconsciously pulled to those with powerful auras. They don't mean harm. Most of them don't even know they're doing it, but they can sense your light and they want to be near it. You know these people. After spending time with them, you feel drained. Not tired from activity, but emptied, like someone pulled the plug on your life force. They might be perfectly nice people. They might even be people you love. But energetically, they're vampires feeding off your aura field, because they don't know how to create their own power. This is why you might have noticed that you need more alone time than others. It's not because you're antisocial. It's because your aura needs space to recharge, to return to its natural frequency, without constant interference from other people's energy fields. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Have you noticed that sometimes when you're feeling particularly strong, particularly aligned, these energy vampires can't get close to you? They might even seem pushed away. They'll cancel plans at the last minute or they'll be mysteriously busy. This isn't coincidence. This is your aura naturally protecting itself when it's at full power. The fifth recognition, the ancient memory. And this brings us to perhaps the most amazing sign of all. Something that goes beyond this lifetime, beyond this physical existence. If you have a truly powerful aura, you carry within you what I call ancient memory. Not memories of events, but memories of knowledge, memories of wisdom. You understand things you've never studied. You know things you've never learned. Sometimes you'll hear a spiritual idea for the first time, and instead of learning it, you remember it, like someone just gave words to something you've always known but couldn't put into words. This is because powerful auras often belong to old souls, beings who have traveled through many lifetimes gathering wisdom, improving their energy, preparing for something. What that something is, only you can discover. But the fact that you're here listening to these words, feeling that recognition stirring in your chest, that's not an accident. You're remembering who you are, the shadow side. But let me be honest with you about something most spiritual teachers won't talk about. Having a powerful aura isn't all light and love. It comes with shadows, with challenges that can feel overwhelming if you don't understand them. The isolation can be crushing sometimes, can't it? When you see so much, feel so much, know so much, but you can't share it because most people aren't ready to hear it. When you have to dim your light just to fit in, just to make others comfortable. When you have to pretend you don't see what you see, don't know what you know. The weight of other people's emotions can feel like drowning. Walking through a shopping mall can feel like walking through a war zone of clashing energies. Family gatherings can leave you needing 3 days to recover, not from social exhaustion, but from energetic overload, and perhaps most challenging of all, the doubt. 'Cause society doesn't validate what you experience. Science doesn't fully explain it. And sometimes in your darkest moments you wonder if you're just imagining it all. If you're just weird, broken, too sensitive. Let me tell you something. You're not broken. You're not too sensitive. You're exactly as powerful as you're meant to be. The challenge isn't to become less. The challenge is to learn how to manage your gift, how to protect your energy, how to use your power wisely. The deeper truth. Because here's what's really happening on a cosmic level. And this is important. So listen carefully. We're living in a time of great change. The mystics call it the shift from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. Scientists talk about the speeding up of conscious evolution. Whatever framework you use, the truth is the same. Humanity is waking up. The veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is getting thinner. And those with powerful auras, you're not just participants in this shift. You're helpers of it. Your aura isn't just powerful for your own benefit. It's powerful because you have a role to play in the collective awakening. Every person you interact with, every space you enter, every thought you think with intention, it all creates ripples in the collective consciousness. This is why you've always felt like you were meant for something more, not in a bragging way but in a knowing way, like you came here with a mission, even if you can't quite remember what it is. The practice of power. So what do you do with this knowledge? How do you live with a powerful aura in a world that doesn't understand aura fields? First, stop doubting your experiences. That knowing you have. Trust it. Those synchronicities, pay attention to them. That feeling that you're different, honor it. You're not crazy. You're awake. Second, learn to manage your energy on purpose. This means setting energetic boundaries, not just physical ones. It means learning to cleanse your aura regularly through meditation, time in nature, or whatever practice feels right to you. It means being careful about who you spend time with and where you spend it. Third, and this is important, stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. The world needs your full power, not a watered-down version of it. Yes, some people will be uncomfortable. Yes, some will pull away, but others, the ones who are ready, will be activated by your presence. They'll remember who they are because you had the courage to be who you are. If this message is feeling true to you, if you're feeling that stirring of recognition, leave a comment below, share your experience. Because one of the most powerful things we can do is find each other, support each other, validate each other's experiences. You're not alone in this. There are more of us than you might think. The sacred responsibility. But with great power comes great responsibility. And I'm not talking about the superhero kind. I'm talking about something much more meaningful. When your aura is powerful, your thoughts matter more. Your intentions carry more weight. Your emotions create bigger ripples. You're not just responsible for your own experience anymore. You're actively participating in the creation of collective reality. This is why inner work becomes so important for people like you. It's not optional. It's essential. Every shadow you integrate, every wound you heal, every limiting belief you transform, it doesn't just change you. It changes the field around you. Makes it easier for others to heal, to grow, to awaken. Think about the last time you did deep inner work. Didn't you notice that suddenly people around you started having breakthroughs too? Your partner suddenly wanted to talk about feelings they'd been hiding. Your friend decided to finally leave that toxic job. Your family members started questioning beliefs they'd held for decades. This isn't coincidence. This is the catalyst effect of a powerful aura engaged in conscious transformation. The ultimate recognition. And now we come to the deepest truth of all, the one that changes everything once you really understand it. Your aura isn't something you have, it's something you are. You are not a physical body that happens to have an energy field. You are an energy field that happens to have a physical body. The body is temporary. The aura, the consciousness, the energy, the essence of who you are, that's eternal. This is why you've always felt like you don't quite belong here. Because you remember on some level what it's like to exist as pure consciousness. You remember the freedom of being unlimited by physical form. You remember the truth that most humans have forgotten, that we are infinite beings having a temporary human experience. But here's the beautiful paradox. You chose to be here with all your power, with all your awareness. You chose to compress yourself into this physical form, in this challenging time on this dense planet. Why? Because this is where the real work happens. This is where consciousness grows. This is where love learns to love through separation, where light learns to shine through darkness, where power learns to express itself through limitation. You're not here despite your powerful aura. You're here because of it. So where does this leave you? Standing at a crossroads, perhaps. On one path, you can continue to doubt yourself, dim your light, pretend you're just like everyone else. Safer that way, more comfortable, less challenging. But on the other path, you step fully into your power. You stop apologizing for your intensity. You stop hiding your knowing. You stop pretending you don't see what you see, feel what you feel, know what you know. You become who you came here to be. And listen, I know that's scary. I know it feels like too much responsibility sometimes. But here's the secret. You don't have to do it alone. There are others like you finding their power, remembering their purpose, stepping into their truth. We're building a new way, one awakened soul at a time. The transformation. Because here's what happens when you fully embrace your powerful aura. Life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a dance. Synchronicities stop being surprising and become expected. Relationships stop being draining and become nourishing because you only attract those who can match your frequency. Your work stops feeling meaningless and becomes aligned with your purpose. But most importantly, you stop feeling like you're crazy or broken or too much. You realize that you're exactly who you're meant to be, that your sensitivity is a superpower, that your intensity is a gift, that your difference is not a bug, it's a feature. The world needs people who can hold higher frequencies, who can anchor light in dark places, who can stay centered when everything is chaos, who can love when others choose fear, who can see truth when others believe lies. The world needs your powerful aura operating at full capacity. The final truth. And so we come to the end of this journey. But really, it's just the beginning, because now you know. Now you can't unknow. Now you have to choose what to do with this awareness. But let me leave you with this one final truth, and it's the most important thing I'll say today. Your aura is powerful, not because you're special, but because you remember that everyone is special. Your light shines so bright, not to separate you from others, but to remind others that they have their own light. Your power isn't meant to make you superior. It's meant to make you a servant to truth, to love, to the awakening of human consciousness. Every person you meet is a sleeping god, a forgotten master, an angel with amnesia, and your powerful aura. It's like an alarm clock, gently, or sometimes not so gently, reminding them to wake up. So the question isn't really whether your aura is powerful. The question is, what are you going to do with that power? Will you use it to separate yourself, to feel superior, to judge those who aren't awake yet? Or will you use it to serve, to love, to lift others into their own remembering? Will you hide it out of fear? Or will you shine it with courage? Will you doubt it until you die? Or will you trust it and truly live? The choice is yours. It always has been. And that perhaps is the ultimate sign of a powerful aura. The recognition that you have the power to choose in every moment who you are and how you show up in this world. You're not like everyone else. You never have been. You never will be. And that's exactly as it should be, because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original you in all your powerful, glowing, transformative glory. So shine, not because you have to, not because I'm telling you to, but because it's who you are, because it's why you came, because somewhere out there someone is stumbling in the darkness, and your light might be the very thing that helps them find their way home to themselves, to their power, to the truth of who they really are. Just like you're finding your way home right now. Welcome home, powerful soul. Welcome home. If this message touched something deep within you, if you felt that recognition, that remembering, please share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe if you want to go deeper into these mysteries. And leave a comment sharing your own experience with your powerful aura. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Remember, you're not alone. You're not crazy. And you're definitely not too much. You're exactly enough. You're perfectly powerful, and you're right on time. Until next time, keep shining your light. The world needs it more than you know.